Hey, how you doing? You find me in the beautiful Club Brighton site, and here I am in a motorhome, ready to go. Why? Well, because for various reasons with which you will be acquainted, this is how we're going to be doing Club Week this week. Your forums are going to be taking place through this medium, and I'm going to be speaking to some of my favourite people from the club and beyond. So if you're ready, let's get going. Welcome to Club Week. Okay, let's kick this off straight away by talking to Nick Lomas, the Director General of the Caravan and Motorhome Club. Nick, how are you?
I'm really well, Matt. How are you?
I'm very well. I see you're in the garden room.
Yes. Well, you've got to have a bit of the outdoors, you know. It's really important.
That's a strong message. And
Mm.
you know what? I'm in a van. I'm in the van at the moment, and I'm in a site as well. You know what's blown me away is how little has actually changed in terms of the experience of being here. It's just like being on a site is normally, which is a fantastic relief.
Yes, I think that's right. I think there is a lot of familiar things. Obviously, we're perfectly set up for social distancing. Everybody's 6 meters apart. You've got all your own facilities on board. And then if you want to use the toilet facilities and the washing facilities, you obviously can do that. And there's procedures for that with wristbands and so on. But if you want to be self-contained, you can do that as well. So it's sort of the best of both worlds, really.
I mean, how has this period been for you? Work to one side, have you managed to get out there and be in the countryside, be in the outdoors much?
Yes, I had a couple of weeks holiday, which was a pre-booked thing, you know, from a long time ago. Went to Norfolk and had a week on the coast at Cromer, which was lovely. The sunny week, the hot week, and also a week in Thetford Forest, which was nice and quiet. In the forest there, just relaxing, not doing too much. So that's been great. I also had a weekend trip down to Battle. And I actually did the Battle of Hastings thing, you know, where you actually see the battlefield.
Did you dress
Um,
up? Were you
yeah,
wearing full armor?
no, pair of shorts. But it was just really good because everything's sort of pre-booked. It's actually really relaxing. There's plenty of space and not so many people.
It's been a really interesting time because, I think a lot of us saw the pictures from Bournemouth Beach, and, whether the experience of people who were going to a lot of these big sites, the big kind of honeypots nationally. I don't know whether their experience matched what the media was saying, strictly speaking, but certainly the image that was being given was that, people who can't go abroad are flooding a lot of UK sites instead. Did you find that yourself personally when you were going around? Obviously, you say Thetford was quiet, but what about the other places?
When I say it was quiet, it was very quiet because it's a relaxing place, but it was absolutely full. And really, yeah, our network, both our club site network and the CL network, has been, almost as full as it's ever been. In fact, I can't remember a year as busy, and I've been, with the club quite a long time now. And certainly, September has been a record for us, and August was the busiest August in 10 years. So yeah, it's been quite busy. The thing is, because we were closed for 3 months, obviously, all those people that had planned for a holiday in the early part of the year then moved it to the second half of the year. And then all the people that were hoping to go to Europe, their plans had to change. Some were lucky enough to go, but most people had to cancel or reschedule for later. And so all of that meant everybody was on the site network, all trying to get on at the same time. And there's really very little we could do about it. The great thing is that we have, we've managed to accommodate as many as we have. And because everybody is socially distanced and our members have been really, really respectful of the rules, everybody still had an enjoyable time.
I mean, that's the other thing that struck me just being here on the site is how not ideal, because it's not an ideal situation, but how well suited the caravan, the motorhome experiences, the club experiences to this particular situation we're in. We've all got our own patch of space here, and we've all got our own environment, which contains our bubble. So it actually works remarkably well, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're right. It does. And as you say, it's difficult times for everybody and lots of uncertainty. And some people in parts of Wales and so on can't travel at the moment, and parts of England are in lockdown. So it is pretty challenging. But once you're on site, it is still a very calm and relaxing and pleasant experience.
Well, I say that, you know, very little has changed, but I know that's not the case. I know I'm surprised you've had any holiday at all, because you must have been working incredibly hard with the team to make sure that is the case, that people can have holidays and that the experience still resembles what they're used to. What are the basics? What have you had to put in place?
A whole set of COVID secure protocols, which in fact we worked with the industry on, and we actually got accreditation for those through Visit Wales, Visit England, and so on. And they are, everything from before you arrive, we give you plenty of information on the website about what to expect. And then when you do arrive, we're doing a check-in process, either where you phone the reception and we give you the phone number when you arrive, or one at a time. Socially distanced people go into reception to check in, and then we give you all the information you need. And as you know, if you're on site, as you are now on site, we just ask you to observe all the social distancing rules. And if you are using the toilet facilities or the washing facilities or the service points, to make sure both you socially distance, and also we're limiting numbers in the toilet blocks to ensure plenty of space for everybody. And that includes a wristband system so that we can keep the numbers to an appropriate number. And obviously enhanced cleaning, which you would expect. So we've got enhanced cleaning protocols. And then a sort of more straightforward checkout process as well. So the whole experience has had to be reviewed because of the situation, but it's still perfectly happy for most people. We've had nearly 1 million people through the site network over the summer, and most have gone away having really enjoyed their holiday.
I've stayed in hotels during this time, and I've stayed in my van, and genuinely I know which I prefer for this particular moment, because hotel, actually the whole experience is pretty miserable right now, whereas here there aren't that many places where you're forced to come into contact with people. It really is just the amenity blocks.
Yeah, that's right. And we set it up that way. So yeah, we are ideally placed for social distancing and hopefully for people getting their nourishment from the outdoors, without having to worry about coming into contact with too many people, which obviously is really, really important at the moment. It's really difficult for the hotel sector. I think they're doing a great job as well. But for them, obviously, the atmosphere does change, I think, quite a lot, because it's not so much the outdoor, it's the ambience of the building and the facilities for them.
What's the picture like across the industry? I mean, are motorhomes, are caravans being made in the same sort of numbers at the moment? Are manufacturers very much affected by this?
I think the manufacturers have had a really tough time. I think it's fair to say since the dealers reopened, they've been selling caravans and motorhomes in sort of record numbers. So they've had a big catch up. And I'm told from some of the major manufacturers that there really is very little stock left now of new vehicles because of that. The main manufacturers, I understand, are all now making new products again, and they've done a lot of new launches. So I think you'll be able to see those at dealers. But I think some of them, quite naturally in their factories, are limiting the capacity because they have to observe all the social distancing there and have sort of groups of workers working together. And I think that's obviously a logistical challenge for them. But I do understand that there are now supplies of brand new kit for next year arriving in dealers across the UK, yes.
I mean, will we get a chance to see them? Obviously, right now, we would expect to be either in the NEC or looking forward to that. When is the chance for people to actually, because you need to try them out, you need to get your hands on this kit before you can buy it. How's that going to work?
Well, I think the reality is, unfortunately, major exhibitions, certainly the major indoor exhibitions, are not going to be happening this year. It's very sad about the October show, and I believe the similar situation is going to apply to the February show. So it does mean that maybe there'll be some more local events, and you need to keep your eye out for perhaps for that. But obviously, you can book an appointment with dealers. Get on the websites, have a look for where the product is that you want to look at, and visit dealers through an appointment system. That's probably the safest way, and then you'll guarantee enough time to look at the product that you want to look at, so you can make a decision.
And of course, the great thing about the club is that whatever you're thinking of buying, there's a good chance somebody else has already got one, and you can get in contact and share that information and find out the pros and cons of any bit of equipment, any bit of kit that you're looking at.
Well, that's right, yes. And using Club Together, the club's online forum, you can ask a question about some sort of vehicle. And if it's a second-hand vehicle, for example, then our technical team are very happy to help as well, because we may well have tested that vehicle in the past. It may have well been in one of our awards, before, and so we can give you plenty of information on that. And the technical advice and information on the website will help with that. But the people there, the team there, are all working from home, from their kitchen tables and their dining room tables at the moment. But they'd be very happy to take your calls as well to answer those questions.
Right, Nick, this is where I give you a grilling, and these are questions not from me,
Okay.
but from members, directly from members. Are you ready?
Oh yes, definitely.
Number one question. I've been a member for the last 30 years. This year I was unable to get booked into many of my usual sites because they were full. A lot of the pitches taken by non-members. How are you going to rectify this situation now and next year and for the future?
Yeah, well, it is a big challenge. Obviously, as I said earlier, half the year we were effectively not open, so that compressed everybody's holiday time into half the season, if you like, and also people not being able to travel abroad. It has made it difficult, but we are doing what we can. We're trying to keep our grass pitching open longer this season. We've also made some planning applications which have been successful to keep some sites open longer. They're in the national parks, where usually we have to close. So New Forest, Brecon Beacons and Norfolk Broads are staying open till till New Year. And also, I'm really pleased to say that our CL network has grown. We've had 65 new CLs just open in the last couple of months. So obviously they're the small 5-van sites. So that's over 300 pitches that have come onto the network, because our CL teams have got those commissioned as soon as lockdown ended, so that we can add pitches. We're also trying to run more temporary event sites, pop-up campsites, and I think we'll be doing that into next year as well. It's just to add more capacity so that more people can enjoy the outdoors. And I would say it is perhaps some non-members, but the majority of the bookings, because of our advanced booking process, are with members. But it is true to say we're also taking on lots of new members, because lots of people are finding that, as we've just talked about, the pastime is a really great thing to do at the moment, to get a holiday and be in control. So more people are coming into the pastime as well.
Well, that's good news. I suppose it sounds as though, even if there is a chance that your favorite site might be booked up, there is going to be capacity. You might need to be a bit more adventurous and look outside of the places you usually go. But the plus side is there are more of those going forward.
Yeah, that's right. And I think also use technology, use the late availability search on our website. So it changes, literally in real time. So you can see when pitches become available and where there are spaces. And as you say, if you stay outside the real honeypot locations, there are pitches to be had. And we're doing our best to keep all the pitches we can open for as long as we can this season.
There's a very general question here. I suppose the thing that a lot of members will be worried about is the long-term future of the club, because we have seen businesses and big organizations really struggle and even go under during this time. And, a big chunk of the season was taken out for you. So what does that mean for the viability of the club going forwards?
Well, the really fortunate thing for us is that even though we've had probably £20 million fall in our revenue on the site network because we were closed for so long, which is very serious, and will mean that the club obviously isn't able to record a surplus this year and will have quite a significant deficit. We have a very long established history, and we've got good reserves for times like this, and we keep reserves for times like this. But also, members have been brilliant. We ask members to support us, to renew their subscription, to stay connected to the club, and because they have done that, we have every chance of being here. I'm very, very confident that the club will be here for another 100 years.
Do you know, when you say things like that, it makes you realize the difference between a club and a business, doesn't it? If you can say, look, we are all in this together. We have all got a stake in this. If you can help us out and see us through this moment, then we will sort you out when the time comes. That makes a difference. That kind of shift in tone and ethos, if you like.
Yeah, that's right. I think it is really important. We did ask members if they were able. Obviously, some are facing financial difficulty, or difficulty with health and everything else because of what's happened and that continues to happen. But because members really value their pastime and their hobby, and they want the club to stay around to help them, they've been brilliant at supporting us, and we really, really do appreciate that. And in return, obviously, we've opened our booking for members up all into next year, so the whole of next season can be booked right now. And that's one of the things that we can do, obviously, to say thank you to members and to give them an opportunity to get a place for their holiday in the UK next year.
Okay, Nick, listen, it's been great to see you. Maybe not, we can't do the Sweet Caroline thing and
no
touching hands, touching me, touching you. But listen, I look forward to the next time we can do this face to face, and hope it's not too far away. And in the meantime, thank you so much for dialing in and spending time and answering some of those questions.
Matt, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.